Good day everyone, welcome to our math class. Today we will talk about simple interest. Now, what is simple interest? Simple interest is an interest charge that borrowers pay lenders for a loan. Now let's have the formula of simple interest. Its formula is interest times principal times rate times time, in which interest is the interest earned after years. Principal is the money borrowed or invested, and rate is the annual rate of interest, and time is the length of time you borrow or invest. However, how about if the principal, rate, or the time is being asked in the problem? So here are the formula to be used. I am using here the magic triangle for you to remember the formulas easily. So if the interest is being asked, then the formula to be used is interest is equal to principal times rate times time. If the principal is being asked, the formula to be used is principal is equal to interest divided by rate times time. If the rate is being asked, the formula is rate is equal to interest divided by principal times time. And if the time is being asked in the problem, the formula is time is equal to interest divided by principal times rate. Now let's try solving word problem. Our first problem is Ali invested 100,000 peso in a bank for 3 years at a 4% interest rate. What is the interest does Ali have earned after this time? First step is let's identify all the given in the problems. So we have here the principal, 100,000 peso, rate 4% or 0.04 in decimal, time is 3 years. Now since we have to find the interest, let's use the simple formula. Interest is equal to principal times rate times time. Now let's try to solve it. So we have here the formula. Interest is equal to principal times rate times time. Now let's distribute all the given. 100,000 times 0.04 times 3. Now let's multiply 100,000 peso by 0.04. That is 4,000 peso. Now let's multiply 4,000 peso by 3. And the answer is 12,000. Therefore, Ali have earned 12,000 peso in interest in the 3 years. Now let's have another example. This time, let's find the principal. What amount of money is invested at 6% annual simple interest for 11 months earns 2,035 of interest? Now let's identify all the given in the problem. We have rate 6% and let's convert it into decimal, that is 0.06. We also have time, which is 11 months, and interest, which is 2,035. As we can see here, the given time is by month. So let's convert the time from months to an annual basis to match the interest rate. That is 11 divided by 12, and the answer is 0.916. Now let's identify the formula to be used. Since we have to find the principal, let's use principal is equal to interest divided by rate times time. Now let's move on to the solution. So P is equal to interest divided by rate times time. Let's distribute all the given. We have 2,035 divided by 0.06 times 0.916. Now let's solve first those in parentheses. So 0.06 times 0.916, that is 0.05496. Now let's have 2,035 peso divided by 0.05496, and the answer is 37,000 peso. Hence, to generate 2,035 peso of simple interest at 6% over 11 months, 37,000 peso must be invested. Now let's have the third example. This time, let's solve for the rate. A teacher put 32,000 in the bank 10 years ago. She has earned 11,450 peso in interest, nearly as much as her initial investment. What was the interest rate that the bank was paying her? Now let's identify the given in the problem. We have interest, 11,450. Principal, 32,000 times 10, and the rate is missing. Now, since we're looking for the rate, let's use the formula rate is equal to interest over principal times time. Now, let's try solving it. So we have here the formula rate is equal to interest divided by principal times time. Now, let's distribute all the given. So we have 11,450 peso divided by 32,000 times 10. Now let's solve first those in parentheses. So we have here 32,000 peso times 10, and that is 320,000 peso. Now 11,450 peso divided by 320,000, that is 0.0357 or 0.036. However, this is not the final answer yet. Since we are looking for the rate, let's multiply it by 100 since interest rates are reported as percentages. So we have rate is equal to 0.036 times 100, and our final answer here is 3.6%. Therefore, the teacher invested at 3.6% interest. Now let's have the last example. This time, let's find time. So Mrs. Garcia has 30,000 peso to invest. She wants to earn 20,000 peso in interest. She is considering a savings and loans bank that is offering her 6.7% interest per year. For how long will she have to leave her money in the bank in order to reach her goal of 20,000 peso? Now let's identify the given in the problem. We have principal, 30,000 peso, rate 6.7% or 0.67 in decimal. Interest, we have 20,000 peso, and since we're looking for the time, the formula to be used is time is equal to interest divided by principal times rate. Now let's solve the problem. So we have the formula time is equal to interest divided by principal times rate. Now let's distribute all the given here. We have 20,000 peso divided by 30,000 peso times 0.067. Now let's solve first those in parentheses. 30,000 peso times 0.067 is 2010. So we have 20,000 peso divided by 2010, and the answer is 9.950. Therefore, Mrs. Garcia will have to leave her money in the bank for almost 10 years. That's all for today. I hope you learned something from this video. Have a nice day, everyone. See you next time.